Test and Trace Chief Dido Harding has voted along party lines despite promising the government's top civil servant she would abstain. The Mirror has seen a letter from new Cabinet Secretary Simon Case saying the controversial Tory peer volunteered to avoid votes on health and social care. She had been criticised by MPs and peers for following the party whip despite her role as a senior public office holder. But on Monday she voted against a Labour amendment to review the impact of the government's immigration plans on staffing of the social care sector. Angela Smith, Labour's leader in the House of Lords, said Baroness Harding either never intended to keep her commitment not to vote on health and social care issues, or just didn't care enough to find out what the Tory whips had told her to vote against. Either way, it's brazen behaviour. She voted against a review to understand the impact on the social care sector after the government has ended freedom of movement in the EU. That is both shocking and extraordinary given her NHS roles. Labour won the amendment to the immigration bill, which requires the government to commission an independent review by 304 votes to 224. Baroness Harding was appointed by Boris Johnson to run the test and trace system that is currently embroiled in a massive data blunder. The race is on to trace contacts of almost half of 15,000 positive coronavirus cases initially not recorded in England due to a technical glitch. The Tory peer is also chair of NHS Improvement and interim chair for the new National Institute of Health Protection. As a public servant, she should be bound by the Civil Service Code, which states that civil servants should not act in a way determined by political considerations. But Baroness Harding, former chief executive of telecomms group TalkTalk, also sits as a backbench Tory peer and takes the Conservative whip. Baroness Smith wrote to Mr. Case, who took over as the UK's top civil servant last month, demanding urgent clarification for what looked like a flagrant breach of the Civil Service Code. She suggested that Baroness Harding, who was unpaid for her test and trace role, should be made a minister, so she could be directly accountable to Parliament. But the government claims that she is a public office holder rather than a civil servant, and therefore subject to slightly different rules. In Mr. Case's reply, seen by the Mirror, he wrote, "There is no bar on such representatives taking a political party whip relating to their political role, although of course an assessment is made on a case-by-case basis for each role. Given her particular circumstances, she volunteered that she would not vote on health or social care-related topics, and would be cautious about speaking in debates.